It is your pain. I'm looking at Get Out again. Because I know where most of us are right now is the sunken place. That's what when he was taken down into the sunken place, like his conscious awareness was taken down kind of low. Which I believe is what happened to the rest of the people too. And this lady used hypnotism to take his consciousness down low. I realized that she was able to do that because of his trauma. It's because he is not complete, which most of us are not complete. Anybody who says that they are complete, I question. Because you shouldn't be in the sunken place, and most people still are in the sunken place, especially if you're still looping, you know. But when he was taken down into the sunken place, I noticed that, it looked like he was surrounded around a bunch of stars, which looked like you would see outside. But what you see outside is not real, because the outside is not real. That's why I don't like working as much, and I try not to be busy as much doing things, because I give too much attention to something exterior that doesn't even exist. That's why I try not to be too busy. What's that? Oh, okay. But anyway, the reason why I brought up him and surrounded by stars is because I remember when I got real sick in 2019. And all I know is I saw in my mind's eye what I really looked like. And when I saw in my mind's eye the real me when my eyes were closed because I was so sick. And when you get that sick, your ego is almost about gone too. Like, that's another thing. It's almost like you're weak, you don't have strength, but it's like your ego kind of leaves you too. And so when I got that sick, my eyes closed, I saw this star in my mind's eye. I saw this what looked like a little star. And I realized that's the real me. That is who I am. I am that star. A lot of those things that we think are stars in the sky could be, souls or whatever. Okay. Like, after I noticed that was me, then I look in the sky to see which one is me. I remember Bobby Hemmett said that it's hard when you're in the city, but when you're in the country, I remember him saying that when you see this one main star, that everywhere you go, this same star is everywhere you go, that is you. That star is you. All right. And so, like, when he was in a sunken place, it looked like some kind of human being, but that was his consciousness that was in that sunken place because of brokenness. And he looks like just one of those he looks like the stars that surrounded him. That's exactly what he looked like too. That's the subconscious. It's like you were in a lower part of your subconscious in a sunken place, in a lower part of your subconscious mind. So, like, it's almost like what we see outside, and especially looking at what we think is the stars, is like kind of the subconscious. Everything we see is a subconscious, though, and programs. And because a lot of us are not active, we're kind of passive. We just take each day at a time and stuff, and not really active in our own. I say not active in connecting with our soul. Some of us. When I say us, I don't necessarily mean me. I just mean a lot of people. Because I've been working on that. But that's the process when you've gone through a lot, and this is why I stay away from my family. Let me tell you something. If your family is a huge source of the reason why you might be in a sunken place, and if you have dealt with a lot of trauma and it's unresolved, you are in the sunken place. You're broken. You're broken. You get out the sunken place when you're whole. You're broken. And that's not a diss. It's just some people who, for some reason, it seems like it's a false confident movement. Self-confident has nothing to do with an individual person who is an ego. It has everything to do with the entire self, the entire 360. That's what confidence is about. It's not about an individual person who puts on some high heels, or a dude that wears a sharp suit or something. that wears a sharp suit and got all this money, or a woman who, excuse me, has her makeup on point or whatever. It's not about just the individual. Yeah, confidence can shine through like that, but a lot of times that does not mean confidence. But it's nothing. It is good to have an out, because the way you dress, it does kind of impact the way sometimes people treat you and how you feel. So that has a lot to do with it. I don't want to knock that. I'm just saying that the way people are teaching confidence, they make it seem like it's just about the physical. Just tell yourself that this and this and this and this and this, and that's the great. But you want to deal with the entire self, the whole entire person, which is the part when they say people only use 10% of their brain, which is really people use less than that. Basically, they're only paying attention to the small bandwidth of light, visible light, which is the physical realm. And the rest of it is all like the rest of the 90% or more than 90% of the brain that we do not use. That's the entire self. That's what I'm talking about. That's self-confidence right there. But so yeah, basically, it's the pain, the trauma, because I knew yesterday I'm in a sunken place. I know I've been knowing I'm in a sunken place. Most people in a sunken place, if they don't want to admit it, that's fine, but you want to be honest with yourself. Don't lie to yourself. I know some people can't handle the truth. You tell them the truth, they want to preach to you like they got it going on when they probably worse off, okay? And so a lot of people like to tell lies and pretend, because in this world you got to be fake, because you got to be faking to impress people when they are nothing to impress, because they are broken into a million pieces themselves. So why impress people who are broken into a million pieces themselves, who can't get you anywhere? Like when I say get you anywhere, I'm talking about spiritually. I'm talking about eternally. They can't get you anywhere, right? But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say is I was thinking about that yesterday, but I didn't talk about anything yesterday because I didn't really understand where I wanted to go with it, because I knew I was in a sunken place. That I already knew. It's not just about black men with white women. No, when she when she hit her that spoon on the when she put that spoon, let me see if it'll show up. It probably won't show up. That's all right. But it's the movie Get Out. If many of you have not heard of it, that's okay, because it seems like every time I try to show like an image or something before I start recording, my thing just shows black or something. So I'm not going to do these images anymore. But I might try that if I have a laptop or something. I'm gonna get a laptop and then I'll try it like that to see if I can, fix these images where, everything, all of my videos won't look black and stuff. It can look like a picture. But anyway, the movie Get Out with Jordan Peele, I think that was an introduction to Jordan Peele right there. Even though I think he might have been around before that, but still, that movie right there kind of put his name out there for almost the whole world to know who he is. And that movie right there, yeah, it was a warning, Get Out, and it was about, people made it seem like it was about a black guy with a white woman, but he's saying get out the sunken place. I'm gonna tell you something that I've seen. I've seen what you call a higher realm, or a higher part of the subconscious mind. So you have a whole lot of brown people, melanated people, who are at a lower level of the subconscious mind. People can say it's a lower realm. And above the realm, I saw non-melanated people, non-Latino, non-Hispanic. I'm being I'm telling you who it is. They look European. And I saw them in a higher part of the subconscious mind, or some might say a higher realm. And they look so peaceful. They looked like, I saw a guy at the beach. I saw this guy laying on this beach chair with his legs all crossed and his hands behind his head, like he was just relaxing. And It's like they had no worries. They were at peace. While a lot of melanated people, and I know we see some Caucasians too, right? But I'm saying where a lot of melanated people are in a lower part of the subconscious mind, a lower realm. That's the sunken place. And why? They need you to stay in the sunken place so they can stay where they are. But a lot of people are not aware of that. And I saw that in the year 2021 is when I saw that. I saw a vision of that. And when I tried to escape, it was like I was coming through this. You know how you on the street and you see these big like sewer things, like you know. I was like coming out of, we're like in a sewer. We're like in a sewer. We're in a sewer. We're in a sewer. And I was coming out, and this guy was trying to pull me back down. It's like I was almost out, and he pulled me by my upper body, pulling me back in, and I was trying to fight to get out. But yeah, it's like I see the answer. The reason why she was able to hit on that little teacup with that spoon, and he immediately go down into the sunken place, is because of his trauma. It's because of his pain. He is a huge trigger. It's a trigger. You know, people get triggered when you say things, and because of some kind of trauma in their life, they get angry and triggered at the things you say when it's not even about that. Like it was a video I did in which I understand the trigger because I get like that too. But I was talking about how it's almost like learning that love comes within, because a lot of us had family members that didn't support us, that didn't love us, and especially if you're a melanated woman, you kind of receive the least. Well, I don't want to say it like that because some melanated women literally got a lot of love, okay? But I'm talking about as far as the way society goes, the way it is. It's like the melanated woman gets the least amount of respect and love and whatever, you know. But some melanated women might not. There are some individual melanated women that might not feel that way because that might not be their reality. And if it's not their reality, they shouldn't even subscribe to it, because I don't really want to subscribe to that either. But I don't want to be blind to the fact of how this society is how the society is. I don't need to be blind to that either. Just because I choose not to subscribe to it in my personal life, because I know I'm much bigger than that, than an individual person. And I'm certainly much bigger than society. I don't subscribe to that either. But at the same time, I see what's going on, right? And I said, see, but that's a huge lesson, because when you learn to get love from within, then you know, that's huge, because some people could have lived their whole life with all kinds of support and all kinds of family and had a lovely life. And I brought up the example of this guy who was married to his wife since he was coming fresh out of high school. And then she died on him. I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but she died, and I think he might have been in his 60s or 70s, so they were married for a very long time. Like, that is his identity. You married to somebody that long, there you have a successful marriage, even though you have your ups and downs. For the most part, you have a successful marriage. That's a part of your identity that you lose. That is a big chunk of you right there. And she died, and he didn't know what else to do, and his dog died shortly after that. And so that's the point I was making, is that at some point, love, you have to learn to get the love from within, because some of us go our whole life without knowing what love is coming from another human being. See, we don't know, some of us don't know what love is coming from another human being, because humans, a lot of them don't have the capacity. Because, okay, say if you have a mother or a father that treat one sibling nice but then treat you badly, well, that's not real love, because if she had true love from within, then she would know not to treat you worse than anybody else. That is a level of hate from her or him, or, you know, the mother or the father. Okay, that's false love. So this son or whoever, or older or other sibling, you know, this brother or sister, or whoever who gets this special treatment, think they're getting this special love when it's really false. And when that love is lost, after they done got this special treatment all this time, when it's gone, they're going to be sick. That's what I'm talking about. It's hard to expect it. But now somebody commented and said it's hard to just do everything by yourself. It's really strenuous. Yeah, that's hard too. And that's the problem with this world, is that it's very hard to do things by yourself. As an individual person in the physical world, you're going to need support from other people. And kind of being in a world where people don't give support, like some people don't give support like others, that can be very difficult. I've been through that. And that's why I don't like the physical world. I don't like being limited, because I don't like to be in need of something and then it's hard to get help when you need it, and somebody with more resources are able to tear you down because they have more support and they have a stronger network. They're able to treat you any kind of way they want to treat you, and you barely have any support. This is what I don't like about this particular level of the subconscious, and this is why I'm doing a lot of inner work to, get out of that state of consciousness, because it's really a state of perception. It's a level of consciousness. But anyway, so yeah, I get that too. But what I'm saying is that's a trigger because of something that could have happened in that person's life. And see, I get that, because I feel like that too. It's very hard not to have support. If you live in your life as some limited physical human being, it's very hard not to have support. That's just it. That's just it. Because you're not perfect. You're imperfect. And we're imperfect because we're supposed to be helping each other. But people ain't helping each other like that. So I ain't got nothing for the physical world. I just don't have nothing for it. But this ain't the physical world anyway. This is the false world. It's a virtual reality. The real physical world is in a really higher level of the subconscious. We're in a virtual reality where some other beings have allowed to take up some kind of space in our mind, because we're in a lower level of the subconscious and they're using a higher part of our subconscious so they can have a good life while we stay in a sunken place because of some kind of trauma. It's because of some kind of trauma. Okay? How do you heal the trauma? Well, I'm working on that myself, and I don't want to use the word heal, because when you use the word heal, then it seems like it's a constantly never ending type of job that you have to do. So I don't really care for this word heal. Just become complete. Work on just becoming complete, and that's it. But I'm going to leave it there, and I will talk later.